Hi everybody, it's Suzanne in Ohio. I have a show and tell project today. Um, I have 7 new needle books, which I think are really, really nice. They're up on my Etsy site, but I wanted to show them to you one by one. I've had some nice comments about my projects and how people can take the idea and run with it and make things for themselves. So that's kind of what this is for. You could go to my Etsy site and buy one of these, or I'm going to explain to you the details of how I made them. And if you would like to make one, it is easy enough. Let's just start with this one. It's in no rhyme or reason. This one opens up with a half flap and full of things on the inside. But let me show you the back first. I paired this found needle arts from the thrift store. I paired it up with this bird print fabric and added a bunch of vintage embellishments with a lot of slow stitching. It's really nice. I did border this one off on the edges to encase the raw edges. However, I don't always do that, but this one just seemed to call for it. Now, when I make my needle books or journal covers, they are basically a front and a back, and both the front and the back have stabilizer underneath them, such as batting or a very stiff pellon and things like that. So they are soft and flexible, but yet they're going to hold their shape. So here's the first one. Here's the half flap. I'm going to open it. And what it does is it tends to protect everything. You could also wrap a closure around it if you want to, or slip it down in a little cloth bag. But needle books are strange, I think. Old-fashioned needle books are very, very small and don't hold very much. Well, that's fine, and the historical ones are to be treasured, but I need more than that when I'm sewing. So I started on this quest to make some needle books for me and my friends I know that sew, something that was very adequate. So let me explain what you're seeing here. Right here is some felt, and I've sewed it in the sleeves or fins, whatever you want to call it. They raise up, and so it's really extremely easy to poke your needle in there. So there's one here and one there, and then this is a pocket on 2 little hinges, and you can put scissors, thread, flosses, whatever you need down there. I had extra fabric, so I created a miniature little pocket here, and this little yo-yo has a felt center for just pinned. Okay, when you fold this over, you're seeing the bulk of the inside, and I decided to create this, which is a removable pincushion, because so many times I'm working and I want my pincushion closer than my needle book. So I created this as removable. This is a pocket with a little pincushion on the top, and then this has leaves for you to put different kinds of needles or pins or whatever you want to do with it. So I would close it up this way first and this way and then close. All right. So, like I said, not in any given order, but since this one's smaller, let me try to bring you down a little closer. Um, I fronted this one with one of my puffies that I make, so I sewed it on as a pocket. And this puffy, I hand drew these violets on here, and since the fabric for the cover was violets, I decided to put that on there, and then I embroidered the word sew. It has its own button and bead embellishments. Now this is a simple one for somebody that just has a few supplies or a young person that isn't sure how much sewing they're going to do. I hand stamped the flourishes on the canvas with uh, acrylic paint and my rubber stamps, And then this forms a pocket, a little felt pad here, a very sturdy felt pad here, and more of these fins. And on the back, a slender pocket that might hold your eyeglasses or scissor, whatever you want to use it for. I have two with this motif on it in different colorways, and I'll show you the blue one first. This, I hand painted these dragonflies and rubber stamped the embellishments around them, and it was kind of an experiment which turned out very well, and so I decided to put that on here on the front as a pocket and team it up with a matching print. On the back, more of that hand stamped fabric that creates a really sturdy pocket. And all these are attached with a lot of slow stitching. This is couching and in and out stitch, and this is X's and hand traveling stitch in and out all around the edge. So on the inside, I used a found textile from the thrift store. It was cross stitch of these bluebirds, and I had to cut it apart because of the size. And I used the two bird images here, and this is a little flap for sticking pins in. Here's more of those fins, and this is a movable pocket and a little felt pad there. 3 fins here with a little felt pad, and I used an old linen textile because the color of the crocheted edging matched. So you have plenty of pockets and plenty of felt pads in this one. And then here's the green. You can say green or teal, I don't care. In this case, it's kind of teal with a lot of chartreuse accent. I backed it on a piece of canvas which I painted to match the main colors, and that forms a nice big pocket on the front. Now this is the biggest and the grandest of all of my needle books, and I just wanted to use up what matching things I had, so I maxed it out. This is a felt pad under here covered with some dyed lace, and a full pocket stretched along the bottom and stitched in. Of course, the movable pocket, more felt pad covered with lace, felt pad, and this nice pocket, sturdy enough to put your scissors in. And then another felt pad over here, and then on the back, a felt pad. But here's the extras for this one. 2 pouches. And this one has a Velcro closure, fully lined inside with the matching fabric and the hand stamped fabrics. And this could be for scissor or your eyeglasses. It has felt pads on both sides, and the nice thing about this is you can take this and use it as a pincushion close to your project. So those 2 items can go anywhere in this journal, in this needle book. Lovely, lovely item. Very sturdy. It's going to hold its shape. This would be, it would be a keepsake item or an heirloom type thing. You can see I put, when I stitched the little swinging pocket in, I put buttons on the outside. And here's another one. This again was a found textile from the thrift store. I finished it out with paint and stitching and embellished it with vintage scraps and lace and applied them with a lot of slow stitching. The embroidery, I hand embroidered the word happy, and on the inside I had a found cross stitch, and I put it on the front of this pocket, and an extra little strip of the fabric just to add interest. This is, flowers and purple theme, and this pocket's really nice and deep. You can put your flosses, spools of thread, anything you want in there. And all of the purple you see here is real wool. I happen to have a bunch of real wool right now, and it had a lot of different shades of purple in it. So I stacked 3 different colors up here, made fins, gave a little strip of felt or wool, felt, and it is felted wool. It's all been washed. And a little flop tab and another pincushion type of thing. This one is very, very cheery. So this one is again in that purple violet fabric, but I used a found cross stitch and I added the words "Sow Seeds of Hope," and it's just so sweet, that rabbit. So this one again could be for some young person just starting out, or some people like to have a needle book for every different project that they are working on. And I've done that before because you need certain colors and certain kind of needles at hand for whatever you're working on. So there's a pocket here with this tulip fabric, the fins, a little needle strip, and a pincushion type of thing right there. And again, a slender pocket on the back. Okay, that's my needle books. Of all of them, I can't pick my favorite. I was going to keep one of these for myself because the one I'm using is not adequate enough. So I don't know what I'll do, but I want somebody that really needs a needle pin organizer and or a gift for somebody who has sewn for years. My girlfriend said, "Boy, I wish I'd have known about these when my mother was still here. She was always just using a piece of scrap fabric to put her needles and pins in." I'm not sure why I didn't think about it at an earlier time to be using one. But here we are, a new Etsy update. And go there and just look at pictures if you want. And if you decide to try one of your own, if you have any questions, leave me a comment or send me a convo on Etsy. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye for now.